ये थकन तो नहीं होनी चाहिए, हम सो के उठे हैं, right? So what can we do to prevent that backache? Do a hip bridge. Lie down on your bed and lift your hips off the ground. Hold it for a few seconds, then put it down. You can repeat this like 5 to 10 times, right? This is gonna relieve your backache. This is gonna give you a very nice mobility in your lower area. And then you can do the ankle rotations. लेटे लेटे हो रहा है ये सारा काम, कुछ भी नहीं जा रहा है, कोई टाइम खर्च नहीं हो रहा है. मे बी शायद अलार्म अगर 6 बजे का लगाया है तो 5 मिनट पहले का लगा लीजिए. लेट्स wake up at 5:55 instead of 6 a.m., right? And these stretches we are going to do at the start of the day. Now what you can do, extend your leg, rotate your ankle. Clockwise 5 times, anti-clockwise 5 times. You'll feel better, trust me. Because, you know, when you're working, whether you're standing or sitting, you feel a kind of ache or pain or stiffness in your ankle area as well. Most of the time you do. So these ankle rotations, this is gonna relieve you for those aches and pains, right? And it's gonna give you a mobility, a relieved mobility. So if the entire day you're not, because most of us, we wear heels on normal days, we are wearing heels or maybe an inch or 2 or maybe more. So that's very important that you are rotating your ankles at the start of the day. So repeat it on the both sides and you're done. So top to bottom you have stretched yourself. Did you believe that just this much of stretching, it maximizes your calorie burn throughout the day when you are physically active? Right? Amazing. It doesn't mean that only stretching will do. It's just the head start. Try to incorporate some exercise. Maybe walk. Start with a walk. Maybe on an off day, Sunday maybe, Saturday if you have an off. And what can you do when you are in the office? If you're working, you're sitting by yourself, right? And most of the time we are in a meeting. We skip lunch because we don't have time and we, binge eat on maybe crackers or biscuits or chocolates or crisps, right? What can we do to avoid that? Always carry a fruit with you, preferably apple, all right? Or maybe any favorite fruit of yours. And instead of binging on those crisps, biscuits, binge on fruits. Second, your nuts, dry fruits, mixed nuts, keep it at your cubic in your office. Have those whenever you're feeling hungry, and if you have this fear that you might skip your lunch because you're in a meeting or you have a lot of work to do, right? And one more observation, basically in the Pakistan, many studies have shown that when we are working, we tend to have 2 large meals in a day. We leave home in a hurry, we hardly have any breakfast, and then we have a heavy lunch, and then when we go home, we have a heavy dinner. It can't be true to everybody over here present, but it's the study that most of us do the same thing. So I can advise you one thing which can make your calorie deficit improved, right? Instead of having 2 heavy meals, divide your meals into 4 or 5 portions. So we already agreed that we are not gonna binge eating on any junk food, right? So if you're having any fruit or something, that's your 1 meal. If you're having a lunch, what are you gonna have? If you are carrying lunch from your home, and if it's some home cooked dal, sabzi, or salan, or anything, you always go for rice or roti, which is in a small portion. For myself, I'll avoid roti, right? Because sweet, it makes you sleepy. And at work, you are then, after lunch, you are less productive and focused. But if it works for you, then please go, but just a small portion, a small roti. Let's make that roti size is smaller than usual, right? And if it's a gravy, salan, I'm talking about very practical things right now, okay? Because most of us do that. So I'm not gonna talk fancy, I'm gonna give you a very fancy talk over here, but let's talk very practical. Something which we can really implement in our lives. So let's about those salan gravy like paya, nihari, chicken korma, and whatever we are carrying from the house. Less gravy, more meat. So that you have a big portion of protein, less portion of that carb and unwanted fat, right? So that makes a very small meal. And then you'll feel lighter than usual. So of course you're more focused and productive at work. And it's a calorie deficit, a quick calorie deficit, you're not starving. I'm not giving any fat diet, I'm not asking you to starve yourself. But see how much your day has improved now. You stop that snacking, you include that fruit or nuts in your daily intake, you reduced your gravy portion, your carbs portion, you increase your protein intake, right? What else is there? If you're having 3 and 4 cups of coffee, let's reduce that. Because you know what? It dehydrates your body. And when your body is dehydrated, you are supposed to gain weight. So you think that hello? Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, where were we? Yeah, coffee. All right, so sometimes, for a quick weight loss, we do that. I have many clients who used to do that. They used to suppress their hunger pangs and appetite with coffee or tea. If it's a meal time, they would just avoid having any meal and have a cup of coffee. Maybe it reduced some weight, but trust me, it wasn't a healthy fat loss. They were losing their muscles all over the place. These were muscles they were losing, not the fat. And the fat was storing in some stubborn part of their body, maybe belly and tricep. And they were like, you see, I'm losing weight, but my triceps are still, chubby. My belly fat isn't going out because whatever they were practicing, it was not great, it's not good. So reduce your coffee and green tea intake. I know people have been advertising green tea as, the new diet mantra or something, but it's not. Okay, it really is not. If you don't believe me, meet a registered dietitian or nutrition and you'll know that. So, reduce your coffee and green tea intake. Yeah, go for it. Green tea is, yes, much better than the coffee itself. But again, moderation is very important, right? And then one more reason why we gain weight. Sometimes we don't have enough water in our body. Our water intake is very less. So common reason, I've been to many organizations. I was visiting Gul Ahmed uh, last month. So they had a wellness session over there, and I got to know that they don't, drink water most of the time, because then they have to go, for the restrooms, and it just, affects their efficiency at the work. Oh man, that's okay, right? You go, because it does two things. You are hydrated, and when you're going to and fro from the restroom, you are burning calories, you are getting more steps, right? Make sense? So please do that. I mean, whatever your HR says, then, a lot of breaks and whatever, don't blame me. I'm just telling you from the wellness point of view, right? But please do that. And if you have lifts and elevators in your office, try to avoid using them. Use staircase. Another, factor which can incorporate easily, and you can burn calories, you can stay active, right? Stay fit, stay healthy. Because that's important. A survey showed in a developed country that women benefit from exercise more than men. Because we have a complex body, right? We get emotionally sick very easily as compared to men. So we have more benefits as well from exercise. Let's forget about the weight loss for a minute. What other things which a physical activity, a exercise gives you? What the benefits are? Man, your brain release a cocktail of feel-good chemicals. Endorphins, serotonin, dopamine. I mean, it's like a party going on in your head, and everyone's invited. Everyone is invited, why? Because if you're feeling good, it's affecting your relationship. You're happy with your family, with your husband, maybe your siblings and everything. And when you're at work, you're more productive, you're cheer. If, your boss said, you didn't do this good, and you were like, yeah, okay, so what? Okay, I can do it again. And that kind of self-esteem it brings in you, right? So forget about the weight loss first. These are the main benefits of the exercise, right? Hormonal imbalances. Many of us suffer from hormonal imbalances. Exercise actually helps to prevent those hormonal imbalances. I think most of us already know about it. Anxiety and depression. My colleague before me told you that, it's very important that your mental health is, on par. So whenever you will go to a therapist, you will go to a doctor, whatever you're feeling, they will always tell you to engage in some kind of physical activity, right? So that's important for your anxiety and depression, because you're releasing so many feel-good chemicals there. So anxiety, depression, so it's all connected. Charlene asked in the survey, what is most important? Is it mental wellness? Is it emotional wellness? If I've been you, I would have raised on every wellness there. Because everything is important. You're lacking, if any one of these, you really need to see what you're doing, where you're going. Okay? So coming back to the benefits of exercise or physical activity. Whenever we have sleep struggles, like Charlene was talking about herself, that, she can't make time or can't sleep early, or I mean, I was like that as well until I became a sleep coach as well. So in TriFit where I work, they are very adamant. They wanted to hire professionals as fitness trainers, unlike any other gym in Pakistan. So they wanted to, educate their trainers more and more. So we went directly into a sleep coaching certification. And I always thought I'm not a morning person. No. I thought there is a thing like morning and evening person, right? I thought I am a night owl. So I can't uh, wake up in the morning and आप मुझे रात में कोई काम दे दो and I'll be like a superwoman. और कोई बस मुझे सुबह में ना उठाए. I was like that. But when I studied, I found out that every one of us has been made the same way. God has created us the same way. We do have a biological clock right inside our body, which tells us that this is not right, but we ignore those signs. So try to talk to a sleep coach as well, whoever is, who has trouble sleep or insomnia, things like that. It's important. So, everyone was talking about identifying those symptoms that you're not healthy is very important. Once you identify, I'm very, very happy that now in Pakistan there's been an awareness that how therapy in different mediums is necessary, right? So each and every part, every factor of your wellness, you need to address it, identify it, go to the concerned expert, and then get sorted and live a happy and healthy life. So we talked about the mental wellness, emotional wellness. I was here to talk about physical wellness. I hope I provided some kind of information, if you weren't aware, what you can practically incorporate in your daily lives to be fit and healthy. But I would really recommend that start exercising today, because tomorrow never comes. Take small steps, baby steps, and eventually you will get there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Risha. And with this, we'd like to give a big round of applause to Risha and Dr. Mazur for sharing such good insights with us. And I would like to call upon Charlene and Sai to please come on the stage and give little, appreciation tokens to these amazing speakers. Can I please have Dr. Tamazur on the stage? Guys, please. Yes, big round of applause. Can we please have the mementos?